after the seismic, earth-shattering trade of a homegrown superstar. Is the next most critical move for the Toronto Maple Leafs really dumping a fourth-line center for a sixth-round pick? Can the solution to years of playoff failure truly begin with such a quiet, unglamorous whisper? Welcome back to the channel, Leafs Nation. We've just navigated one of the most transformative off-seasons in recent memory. The ghost of playoffs past once again haunted Scotiabank Arena, leading to the kind of front office soul-searching that always precedes monumental change. And change we got. The departure of Mitch Marner, a player woven into the very fabric of this team for nearly a decade, wasn't just a trade. It was the end of an era. Seeing him ship out of Vegas and immediately ink that massive 8-year, $96 million deal was a gut punch, a clear signal that the status quo was officially dead and buried. You don't just replace a 102-point player. The offensive void he leaves behind is a chasm, and the front office's response has been interesting. General Manager Brad Treliving didn't try to find another Marner, because you can't. Instead, he opted for a strength in numbers approach. Coming back in the Marner deal was a versatile and reliable Nicholas Roy. Then came the acquisition of the crafty playmaker Matias Maccelli from the Utah Mammoth, followed by the signing of the rugged and tough-as-nails Dakota Joshua from the Vancouver Canucks. On paper, these moves add depth, grit, and a different look to the forward core. But in reality, they've created a new, more complicated problem. A roster logjam and a salary cap situation that's tighter than a brand new pair of skates. The Leafs now have a surplus of forwards and not enough chairs when the music stops. With limited financial breathing room, another shoe had to drop. It was inevitable. And it looks like that shoe belongs to veteran center David Kampf. According to a recent proposal from Heavy Sports, and aligning with credible reports from insiders like David Pagnotta of the Fourth Period, the Leafs are actively looking to move on from Kampf. The proposed deal is a definition of a salary dump. David Kampf heads to the Anaheim Ducks, and in return, the Maple Leafs receive a 2026 sixth-round draft pick. Now, let's be clear. This isn't a trade that will have fans lining up on Maple Leaf Square. It's a housekeeping move born of necessity. David Kampf is a perfectly serviceable NHL player. He does the little things right. He's a responsible defensive forward and a beast in the face-off circle, boasting a 51.2% win rate last season, and having won over half his draws in 7 of his 8 years in the league. For a fourth-line center, that's exactly what you want. The problem isn't the player, it's the price tag. Kampf carries a $2.4 million cap hit through the 2026-27 season. In a flat cap world, and on a team with superstars to pay, that a steep price for a player whose role is on the fourth line, and whose spot in the lineup is no longer even guaranteed. With the additions of Roy and Joshua, who can both play center and bring more physicality or versatility, Kampf has become a luxury item the Leafs simply cannot afford. Treliving knows it, the league knows it, and that's why the return in this proposed deal is so minimal. You don't get premium assets back when you're openly trying to shed salary. You get what you can, and in this case, a late-round draft pick is better than the alternative, which could be waivers or a buyout. So, why would the Anaheim Ducks, a team in the midst of a deep rebuild, even entertain this? Well, it actually makes a world of sense from their perspective. The Ducks are swimming in cap space, with over $20 million to play with according to Puckpedia. Taking on Kampf's contract is a non-issue for them. More importantly, he fills a legitimate need. A young, rebuilding team needs veteran insulation. Guys who can take on tough defensive assignments, win crucial faceoffs, and kill penalties, thereby sheltering their prized young prospect from overwhelming situations. Kampf is the perfect candidate for that job. He could anchor their fourth line, be a staple on the penalty kill, and serve as a professional example for the next wave of Ducks talent. For Anaheim, this is a low-risk move to acquire a useful player who can contribute immediately and stabilize their bottom six, all for the cost of a draft pick that has a statistically low chance of ever making the NHL. For the Maple Leafs, the benefit is just as clear, albeit less exciting. That $2.4 million in freed-up cap space is pure gold. It provides critical flexibility. It could be the difference in being able to make a key acquisition at the trade deadline. It could allow them to carry a full 23-man roster without financial gymnastics. It solves the forward logjam and solidifies the roles for players like Roy and Joshua. This move isn't about the asset coming back. It's about the liability going out. The 6th round pick is merely a token to make the transaction official. The real prize is the financial freedom. In the end, this potential trade is a stark reminder of the new reality in Toronto. The era of the core four is over, and the era of ruthless efficiency has begun. The Marner trade was a headline, the main event that shook the foundation. But the true success of this new chapter won't just be defined by blockbuster deals. It will be defined by the small, intelligent, and sometimes painful decisions like this one. It's about building a complete, balanced, and financially sustainable roster from top to bottom. It may not be glamorous, but shedding a contract like David Kampf's for a late pick is precisely the kind of calculated move that smart, contending teams have to make. This feels like the first of many small dominoes to fall as the Leafs reshape their identity. But what's your take on it? Is this the right, pragmatic move to make, or are the Leafs selling low on a reliable defensive player? Let me know what you think the front office should do down in the comment section. And if you enjoy this kind of deep dive analysis into the business of hockey, do us a favor and hit that like button to let us know. We'll see you in the next one.